Alright everyone, in this box, and I've already kind of pre-opened the box so addresses don't show, we have a couple of things. Two. Because I wanted to. Back when I was a kid, this was one of my favorite models. The Mpc Space 1999 Hawk, over 10 inches long. Okay? We have two of them because I want to build two of them. I want to build one the way I did as a kid, just throw it together, decal it, a few things, and I want to build one all painted up and detailed pretty. Okay? So I got two of them. And right here we have the original Mpc kit, the one I had as a kid. Still in the box, and I don't know if that's worth anything anymore since the new model came out. Probably not. The value of it probably dropped to nothing. But I don't have to open that to compare them because here's the one I built as a child. And I built this who knows how long ago. And I do mean who knows how long ago. I think I was 6 or 7 when I built it, maybe 5. So let's take this camera, let's zoom it in some. And let me tilt it down so we can take a look at what's in this box. My hobby room is a disaster. I've been working insane hours this summer. I am not opening this box, but we can take a look and do some comparisons of the boxes. The new one is much larger box because it's a standard box size. This little one is not the standard box size. Okay? But this is the original Hawk kit. Now, I'm going to set that aside and put it back on its shelf where it belongs. Because don't really want to open it by accident. It's still sealed in this plastic. And again, I don't think it's probably lost a lot of value since this kit came out. That's the way these things crumble. You know, that one was worth a lot because there were almost none of them available. And some people still wanted to buy it and build them. If I lost money because I didn't sell it, I lost money. I still have my childhood memory there, though. That's more important to me than the money, to be honest. So let's open this box. And let's take a look. And we're going to compare it to the old Mpc kit because I have one that's built. So we can get a size comparison and all that fun stuff. Okay? There we go. Right there. Probably ought to move the camera up and do a more straight down view. Let me stop and come back in a second. All right, when you open the box, this is what you see. You see the decal set right there. Now, the decal set, we can compare it to this guy. I have to be careful because this wing is starting to come off of it and the seam's starting to split along the side here. And this is really old. This is like 30 years old. But you can take a look and you can see some of the decals line up. But you can also see that decal would be in there. This decal would be here. And if you notice, I think the kit's been re-engineered. It looks like the decals are a little bit larger. But I can't tell for sure. Okay? Yeah, I don't like the sound of that when I set this down. Some of these parts are coming loose. That's no bueno. But that thing is like 30 years old, so I get it. Put the decals aside. Here's the directions. Okay? The directions fold out. And we can see the directions on camera. There we go. Almost full screen. Now, this has been re-engineered somewhat. Because I took a look at this earlier. This has a seam running all along here, so these were just 2 pieces. And that seam continues through the engine bell here. And if you look at the directions, you can see that's not true. The engine is molded in one piece and glued together to build an engine assembly, which goes on the end of this tube. So the engine shouldn't have any seam lines. It might have a mold mark where the 2 halves of the mold went, but there won't be any seam line down the engine tube where you had to put it together, which is a good thing. Okay? And it looks like the seam line's running the same place the seam line ran on this one, right along here. But this one's seam line is running across the top up here, which is an improvement, so you don't see it on the side. Okay? The main engine thruster in the back, still going to have that big old seam line along it. There's no way around that right there. You can see it here. Now, if they molded the seams well, like some of the Bandai kits, they'll disappear if you're careful. And when we get to the main body, it is still 2 halves, just like this one was. And again, you can see the seams coming apart. on the sides, okay? Because this kit is really, really old. Now, the engine back here is definitely done differently on the newer kit. It is one piece again. So this is a re-engineered kit, okay? And we have a little bit of decoration parts on the side that don't appear to be on this model. So it's going to be more detailed than this one. And we're going to look at the parts in a second and compare them to this one so you can see the old one. But it looks like you could build this in an afternoon if you were motivated and were careful. And then we get to the last page. You have the grid work, which we have here. And then you have the underside grid work. Now, this didn't really have underside grid work. All that was molded in, and this is separate. Okay? These parts were not separate. They glued on separately. And, of course, you have the cage across the top. And this looks like it has a few more details than this one does. And the display base is going to allow you to display it in numerous positions. Okay? Let's start looking at the parts. Let's start comparing. All in one bag. You have your typical round 2 dome kit here. But it's all in one bag. Let me go ahead and open the bag. They didn't pull a Bandai and put it in separate bags, which would have been nice, if you ask me. So here's a piece. And I'm not sure what this is, but it looks... hopefully that's just a sprue mark. That looks like it's a sprue, not part of the kit. But we have our we have one of our engine bells right here. Okay? And we have the rear mixing chamber. And if you compare them, you can see the model is bigger. It is going to be larger. This is the proper orientation of it. You can see the new kit is larger than this one. You can also see it by looking at the side here. This piece corresponds to this piece here. And if you look at them, you can definitely tell this is, the newer kit is a larger kit than this one. Just almost pulled that wing out. No good. Okay. So here we have one sprue. Let me zoom this so we can take a closer look at the sprue. It means I'm going to have to be more careful with the camera though. Let me put the box aside. Let's put the sprue aside since we've looked at it. This is pretty close to a duplicated sprue. Not 100% duplicated, but close. These parts here are not on the other sprue. This is not on the other sprue. This is the underside of the underbelly. And you can tell there is definitely a difference in the details. And it's definitely more detailed and a little bit larger, but not necessarily a little bit larger. Okay? We have the rear engine bell here, which is this. You can see this had pin marks in the back of it, and this engine bell will not. So we have some engineering improvements. It is a tiny bit bigger. The scale looks to be a little bit larger than the old kit. I mean, it's in a larger box, so I would hope so. Okay, now let's go ahead and get the body sprue so we can actually get a comparison of the size. Now, if you look at this, you look at the side right here, this is far more detailed than this is. Okay? If you look at the side of the kit, it's far more detailed. The other thing you can see is this is open, so if you wanted to build a canopy in there, you could. You wanted to leave the inside open, you could. And that is the top side where the cockpit would be. I don't think it comes with a cockpit. It didn't look that way. And if we do a size comparison side by side, you can see they are about the same size. They're almost the exact same size. So there's a few details here and there that are a different size, but scale-wise are probably the same scale. Okay? We got much better details on this kit. Much better. I mean, they've had 30 years to improve it, so I would hope it's had some improvement. And then here's the last sprue. It has the cockpit here. So if you really wanted to be good and get an aftermarket kit or learn something about scratch building, you could scratch build it, the inside. Here we have this part here. This is a cage across the top. You will notice that's heavier, thicker than this. Here's the side cages. They are thicker. Okay. And these These are the connectors for the engine here, and they are much thinner than the ones on the original model. Overall, this looks to be a good improvement. I mean, look at the back of the engines on this one. They're hollow. Look at the back of the engines on this one. They're not. You want to do some lighting? You could. It would be pretty easy to do some lighting. Okay? Space 1990 Kit 9 kits never had thrusters firing or anything, so it's not necessary to light them so much, I think. Anyhow, there's a quick rundown of what's in the kit. I do have 2 of them, and I wanted to show everyone a comparison next to the old one. So I went ahead and got it out of the box. It has been in a packing box for 3 years. Finally dragged him out, and he gets to see the light of day. So I'm going to put this all away, put it back in its box. I'm going to go downstairs, pull this video out of the camera, and get it uploading. At the end of this, you'll see the... Oh, I did not show the box. When you take the box apart, you have your painting guide. We have the on-screen version, pre-production version. On-screen version had orange to it, the pre-production version did not. Okay? And we have a marking guide, a decal guide. Okay? So the on-screen version did have black windows, but it did not have them here. Oh, I'm way off camera. Here's the marking guide. The on-screen version had black for windows here, did not here. And if you look at the side of the box, you have another marking guide. This is smart of them to do this. I like this. Instead of putting it on the directions, I put it on the box where they're printing in full color. Another marking guide. Another marking guide. The bottom of the box has some art on it. Okay? I didn't catch that was there, or I would have shown it. Alright, I'm going to go downstairs to get this video up. I also managed to make it to Eagle Quest, Squadron's little model show. I didn't get to enter anything. I didn't get to go to any of the panels. I didn't have that kind of time. But I did make it there and view the model room. And I had a conversation with the Tamiya guy. It was really short. And I got to listen to someone talking about Revel. And I recorded that. And he knew it was going to go on YouTube. So I'm going to put that one up with the Squadron video. I'm going to go take this and put it in a case and lock it up so no one touches it again. All right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. At the end of this video, you will be a clip of me pulling this out of its storage box. I'll be back in a little while. Hello, everyone. What we have here is a box from when we moved into this house 3 years ago. I'm missing 3 of my models. 2 of them. One of them is the Enterprise, and this says Enterprise, so I know the Enterprise is in here. One of them is the Space 1999 Hawk, and the other is a Robotech model. Those of you that played Battletech, or I can't remember the name of it, would call it something else. But anyhow, I'm hoping all 3 of them are in here. I think they are. I'm looking for the Space 1999 Hawk, so I'm going to open this up and see what we find in here. And I know the Enterprise is in here. And one of the reasons I haven't opened this is I have no place to put the Enterprise in this house. Yeah, Enterprise is definitely there. And this is going to be messy because look what I used to pack it with. And there is, yes, I was hoping this was in there. This is the one I'm all upset over not being able to find. And there he is. Okay. He's been in some of my videos. It's one of the best painted models from back when I built models in college. It survived. So there it is. It survived. It's intact. Enterprise is in here. It is intact. I'm hoping this... Oh, there's some other stuff in here. Yes! I was really sick I'd lost this one. This is the oldest model. I built this thing when I was like 5 years old, 6 years old. And it's really good for the age. Look how much it's yellowed on the top versus the bottom. Okay? But I was hoping I still had that in here. There's probably some other surprise. Oh, there are other surprises down in here. Let me get the Enterprise out of this thing. Let's hope I can do this without tearing her up and making a mess, because these paper shreddings are pretty brutal for packing material. They're great because this thing just isn't going to break while you're moving it, but you don't want to drop it. is they will make one heck of a mess in your house. And there's Enterprise D. It's just so big, I don't really have any place to put it. It is not lit with LEDs, it's lit with wheat bulbs. Okay? I didn't try to do any Aztec painting. They're the decals out of the kit. The nacelles do light up, and it's running on like 15 volts. It's crazy. And it's all fiber optics, so I didn't actually light the real windows on it. It's just fiber optics in places. It was the fiber optic light kit that come with Enterprise D. And there's videos of it on my channel. You just have to look for them. I'm trying to see. Yep, there's more in here, I think. Nope, that's shredding. There's probably more in this box. I'm just looking to see because I don't want to throw this box out and find out I had something in it later. Yep, there's something down there. It's taped to the bottom. Oh joy. Ah, there's something right there. One of my Gundam kits. I'd forgotten I'd even had that. I built that out of the box just because. Why is this taped down at the bottom? That doesn't make any sense. That's the power transformer for the Enterprise. Now it makes sense. I taped it down in the bottom so it wouldn't shift around and beat up the Enterprise. There's the power transformer specific to the Enterprise. And I don't know if I'm ever going to actually turn it on. We're making a mess on the floor anyhow. So what I'm going to do with the rest of this is I'm going to take a garbage bag and just slowly move it into the garbage bag. Everything in here was put in plastic bags. So if there's anything else in here, it's sealed away and I'll find it pretty quickly. There's nothing loose. I made that mistake a few times in the past, putting loose items in a box like this, full of this stuff, and things got broken and I lost pieces of them. Desloc's Command Cruiser comes to mind. Well, there you go. We got him out of the box. And I was looking for the Eagle for a reason. I mean, the Hawk for a reason, which I'll show you guys in a few minutes.